The modern form of general-purpose computing has been around for 60 years. We've benefited from Moore's Law, an amazing phenomena, for the past 30 years. Hardware might continue to advance in an architecturally compatible manner without requiring changes to the software. Since then, it has served as the foundation for every industry. However, we now understand that CPU scaling has peaked. Moore's Law is no longer a free pass. We can no longer afford to do nothing with software and hope that the advantages will keep spreading, costs will keep going down, and our computing experience will keep getting better. We founded our company to speed software so that we could benefit from tackling ever greater issues. We envisioned that acceleration would be advantageous for some applications. For applications that were previously unfeasible or prohibitive to execute with general-purpose computing, that acceleration benefit possesses the same characteristics as Moore's Law. Accelerated computing gives us the advantage to achieve that potential. For instance, the introduction of NVIDIA and the development of a new processor known as GPU is allowed for real-time computer graphics. However, we believe that accelerated computing could have a much greater influence in the long run. There isn't a magical processor that can speed up everything, since if it did, it would simply be referred to as a CPU. From the algorithms to the architecture below, you must completely reimagine the computing stack and link it to apps on top, domain by domain. Although computer graphics was the first, we have since moved this CUDA design from one industry to another. We are accelerating a lot of significant industries now. In order to create the computing of the future through classical quantum hybrid computing, CUDA is essential to simulation, computer-aided engineering, quantum computing, semiconductor manufacturing, and computational lithography. We can speed up the application by 20, 30, and 50 times in each of these various libraries. It has taken so long because, of course, it requires a rewriting of the software. To speed up those applications for their domains, we have had to collaborate with the industry, our ecosystem, software developers, and customers in each of these areas. Modulus teaches AI the fundamentals of physics, enabling it to anticipate not only the next word, but also the next fluid dynamics, particle physics, and other point in time. Naturally, the democratization of artificial intelligence as we know was made possible by Cuban, one of the most well-known application libraries we have ever developed. It seems like accelerated computing is employed everywhere because these acceleration libraries now span so many different disciplines. But the reason for that is that we have used this design in almost every sector and one domain after another. The tipping point for accelerated computing, or CUDA, has now been reached. Naturally, our software development process is the first item to change. The process of developing software is the foundation of our industry. The software, known as Software 1.0, was created by programmers who wrote algorithms or functions for a computer to execute. In order to forecast an output, we would apply it to input data. Someone would write computer executable algorithms in Python, C, Fortran, Pascal, or C++. It produces output when input is applied to it. We had a good understanding of the classical computer paradigm, but that method of creating software has been appended. Machine learning, which uses a computer to analyze the correlations and patterns of vast amounts of observed data in order to essentially learn the function that predicts it, has replaced coding. Therefore, by utilizing machines to learn the predicted output that would result in such a function, we are effectively creating a universal function approximator. It goes from Software 1.0, which was coded by humans, to Software 2.0, which uses machine learning. Take note of the software's author. The computer is presently writing the software. The model is then inferred once training is complete. After that, you use that function. That deep learning model, that computer vision model, that speech understanding model is now an input neural network that enters the GPU and is capable of generating a prediction in response to novel, unseen input. We have progressed from coding to machine learning, from software development to artificial intelligence, and from CPU preferential software to neural networks that perform optimally on GPUs. Fundamentally, this is what has transpired in our industry over the past decade. The computing stack has now been completely reinvented. The entire stack of technologies has been reimagined. These days, there are fundamental differences in the technology, software development processes, and the capabilities of software. We committed ourselves to this field's advancement. This is what we are building presently. At first, we were developing GPUs that would fit into a PCI Express card. These days, a GPU looks like this. Yes, thank you. This is Blackwell, a huge system that was created to analyze data on a huge scale in order to find patterns and links and understand the significance of the data. This is the biggest innovation in the past few years. We now understand how words, numbers, pictures, pixels, films, chemicals, proteins, amino acids, fluid patterns, and particle physics are represented or have meaning. We now understand the significance of a wide variety of data kinds. We now know how to express information in a wide variety of ways. We can transfer it to another modality in addition to having grasped its meaning. The translation of English to Hindi, the translation of a vast amount of English text into summarized English, the translation of pixels to images, image recognition, the translation of words to pixels, image generation, the translation of images/videos to words, captioning, the translation of words to proteins, used for drug discovery, and the translation of words to chemicals, discovering new compounds, are all excellent examples that were made possible by a single tool that allowed us to study data at massive scales. Just to clarify, the Blackwell GPUs are obviously used in the construction of the Blackwell system, but 7 more chips are also needed. All of these chips are produced by TSMC, which is also performing remarkably well in scaling up the Blackwell system. We anticipate delivering in volume production in Q4, and Blackwell is currently in full production. Thus, in essence, this is Blackwell. This, in turn, is among the system's truly amazing features. Let me demonstrate. This morning is not an easy one. Music, this is called NVLink, and it spans a GPU rack's whole rear spine, with 144 GPUs joined together and 72 dual GPU packages of Blackwells. These GPUs form one enormous GPU. In essence, it's a GPU that is so enormous that it would be this massive if I were to spread out all the chips to demonstrate how they connect. However, as it is obviously impossible to construct GPUs so big, we use the most cutting-edge technology to divide it into the smallest possible pieces or reticle limitations, and then connect them together using NVLink. This is the backbone of NVLink. All of the GPUs that are linked are visible to you. All of these GPUs are connected by that quantum switch. Spectrum X is at the top. This connects it together if Ethernet is what you want. One of the most sophisticated switches ever constructed is connected to this. Together, these elements now symbolize Blackwell. After that, it executes the underlying software.